So the whole time we're thinking that that's her husband, Jack Brooksbank.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out, guess who that mystery man was the whole time?
Was it Meghan's guy?
It was Marcus Anderson.
Marcus Anderson, yeah.
Why is she having dinner with Marcus Anderson, and why is he then going home with Meghan and Harry?
Those photos people spent years quietly talking about have suddenly exploded back into the spotlight. Meghan Markle and Marcus Anderson keep showing up together again and again. Soho House events, Paris Fashion Week, even Disneyland outings with her children, and somehow the same person is always there, not standing in the background, not hanging off to the side, but right next to her almost every time people look. And Marcus Anderson is not just some casual friend. He's known as one of the most connected figures in the Soho House world, someone with major influence inside some of the most exclusive private clubs around. The gatekeeper, the connector, the person many believe has a say in who gets access and who does not. Wherever Meghan seems to go, Marcus often appears nearby. And that pattern has people asking new questions. Now attention is turning to a question many avoided for years. What exactly is the nature of Meghan Markle's connection with the man widely reported to have introduced her to Prince Harry?
Actually attended the garden party and overheard something Meghan said to Harry. So after about 15 minutes talking to guests and being charming, Meghan turned to Harry, and I quote from Lady C's book, "Harry, this is really boring."
Because this is the detail that keeps raising eyebrows. Meghan is rarely seen at Soho House-related events without Marcus Anderson close by. Photo after photo appears to show the same thing. This is the same man linked to membership circles at Soho House, the same man connected to her early introduction to Harry, and someone who has reportedly appeared at major milestones in her life, from celebrations to family gatherings. Then there is Nick Jones, the founder of Soho House, a figure long associated with those exclusive invite-only spaces. Supporters and critics may see these images differently, but the photos continue to spark debate. Meghan has often spoken about valuing privacy, yet many observers see these connections as a story about influence, opportunity, and access to powerful networks. For them, the discussion is less about romance rumors and more about proximity to power. So let's take a closer look at what Soho House really is. This is not just another private club. It has grown into one of the most exclusive membership networks in the world, with locations in London, New York, Toronto, Los Angeles, and many other major cities. You cannot simply pay a fee and walk through the door. You need sponsorship, you need approval, and most importantly, you need the support of people who already have influence inside the system. One of the biggest names connected to that process is Marcus Anderson. Marcus did not begin at the top. He reportedly worked his way up from a waiter to becoming one of the most influential figures within the Soho House organization.
Queenie said it best. It's downright bizarre that a man, gay or straight, constantly clings to a family like Marcus Anderson does with Harry, Meghan, and their kids. He is like a parasite, always lurking in their shadow.
As global membership director, he became known as someone deeply involved in the social circles surrounding the brand. He was closely associated with high-profile events, celebrity gatherings, and the exclusive guest lists that helped shape Soho House's image. Meghan Markle's friendship with Marcus has attracted attention for years because of how often their paths seemed to cross. Nick Jones founded Soho House in 1995 and eventually built it into a worldwide business worth billions. He has also spoken publicly about the company's approach to membership. Jones once said, "We try not to give membership to people who would fuel paparazzi or bring press." That policy became a major talking point. According to reports over the years, even some very famous celebrities faced challenges getting access because of concerns about publicity and media attention. That is why many observers keep asking the same question.
Meghan Markle's best friend, who set her up with Prince Harry, has vanished. Whatever happened to Meghan's best friend Marcus Anderson? The tall, handsome Canadian was third wheel in the early days of her romance with Prince Harry, and he was front and center at their 2018.
How did Meghan Markle, known at the time for her role on Suits, become such a familiar face within Soho House circles? How did she gain access to locations across the network when the membership process was known for being selective? Many people continue to point to one factor: her friendship with Marcus Anderson. To them, it was not simply a random coincidence, but a connection that opened important social doors and sparked years of speculation. This is why some people believe the situation looks highly strategic. Access to rooms filled with wealthy, influential, and well-connected people can completely change someone's opportunities. And then there are the photos. These are not formal red carpet poses or ordinary group snapshots taken in passing. Many of the images show Meghan and Marcus together in ways that have fueled years of discussion. In December 2014, the two attended an event where photos captured them standing very close. Meghan was holding a large glass of wine, her arm appearing to rest around his back, while Marcus leaned in nearby. The images immediately became the kind that spark conversation and keep people debating what they really show. Observers have repeatedly focused on the body language seen in several photos. In June 2016, just weeks before Meghan and Prince Harry were reportedly introduced, the pair attended a Toronto gala. Marcus wore a blue tuxedo, Meghan a black dress, and photos showed them standing closely together.
So for Harry himself, he's now, in many people are suggesting, trapped. And as his mother famously said in that line, it's difficult because there's three of us in this marriage. History, truly, according to that source, is repeating itself. Harry is very much sort of whatever is suggested, he has to go along with it.
For some viewers, the images suggested a strong friendship, while others interpreted them differently. Either way, the pictures drew attention and added to the speculation. Then came the Invictus Games in Toronto in September 2017. Meghan, Harry, and Marcus were all present. One widely shared image showed Meghan seated beside Marcus while smiling in his direction, while Harry appeared to be looking elsewhere. Supporters dismissed the attention as people reading too much into a single moment, but critics pointed to the photo as another example of the unusually close connection that had already become a major topic online. Fast forward to Paris Fashion Week in October 2025, and another image exploded across social media. Photos of Meghan and Marcus walking together quickly went viral, with online users debating what exactly they showed. As always, the reactions were divided, but the discussion spread fast and brought renewed attention to their long-standing friendship. Then there was the June 2025 Disneyland trip, celebrating Lilibet's 4th birthday. Marcus reportedly appeared in family photos from the outing, and Meghan used a heart emoji over his face in an Instagram post. That small detail immediately triggered more questions online, with people wondering why his identity was concealed if he was already a well-known friend. One detail that continues to stand out to many observers is how often Meghan appears alongside people from her close social circle. Across years of photos connected to Soho House and related events, she is frequently seen with Marcus Anderson, Misha Nonno, Prince Harry, or other close associates, a pattern that keeps the conversation alive. Why does that matter? According to Soho House policies, guests are generally expected to remain with the member who brought them during their visit. That detail has led some observers to speculate that Meghan may have often attended as someone else's guest rather.
What now would seem to be a very reasonable position of not believing a word coming out of Meghan Markle's mouth about my royal family. Now, most people now agree with me about the veracity of what comes out of her mouth. But at the time, this was deemed so controversial that my company, rather than defending my right to free speech, the network said, you've either apologized for disbelieving her or you have to leave.
Than as an independent member. One name keeps coming up in those discussions: Marcus Anderson, who appeared alongside her at many Soho House-related events over the years. Nick Jones stepped down as Soho House CEO in November 2022 following a prostate cancer diagnosis, but he remained involved with the company in various capacities, including creative and membership matters. As the founder, Jones played a major role in shaping the culture of the organization and was closely connected to the exclusive spaces and events that helped build its reputation around the world. People familiar with Soho House often describe it as much more than a social club. It has long been viewed as a powerful networking hub where ambitious individuals can meet influential figures from business, entertainment, media, and fashion. Relationships are built, opportunities are created, and introductions are made in settings that are far more private than the public eye usually sees. Jones also owns Babington House, the country estate that has frequently been linked to the early days of Harry and Meghan's relationship. Reports have claimed that Marcus Anderson helped coordinate meetings and logistics, ensuring things remained discreet. To many observers, that level of involvement went beyond what they would expect from an ordinary friendship, and highlighted just how important Marcus was within their shared circle.
Worth it. Remember?
I'm a real mom.
But you know what it got me thinking about? Meghan and Harry's travel safe obsession. Now, of course, we should all travel safe. That's a relatively normal thing to say, no big deal. Not trying to make mountains out of molehills or anything like that, not like the Meg.
Babington House itself has developed a reputation as a destination where influential people gather away from public attention. Behind its historic walls, guests can socialize, network, and build connections in a setting designed for privacy. That reputation has only added to the intrigue surrounding the role it played in Harry and Meghan's story. According to royal biographer Katie Nicholl, Prince Harry reportedly turned to Marcus Anderson when he wanted an introduction to Meghan. The meeting took place in London in July 2016 in a small private gathering, reportedly involving only a handful of people. The arrangement allowed Harry and Meghan to talk in a relaxed environment without intense public scrutiny. For many people, the key detail is that Marcus was reportedly at the center of making it happen. He had the contacts, the venues, and an established friendship with Meghan, putting him in a unique position to bring the future couple together. Think about that sequence of events for a moment. Marcus Anderson is widely reported to have helped arrange the introduction between his close friend Meghan and Prince Harry. After that, his name continued to appear around key moments in their story, from private gatherings at Babington House to events connected to Soho House. Because of his reputation for making connections happen, some observers have even described him as Meghan's fixer. What do people mean when they use that term? In this context, they are referring to someone who helps organize introductions, creates opportunities, and opens doors that might otherwise remain closed. Marcus built a reputation around networking, connecting influential people, and helping bring the right individuals into the same room at the right time. That role has made him a central figure in many discussions about Meghan's rise through elite social circles. Before meeting Prince Harry, Meghan was known primarily for her work on Suits. She had a successful acting career and growing public recognition, but she was not yet operating at the level of global attention that would later follow her. Around the same period, she became friends with Marcus Anderson, and through that friendship, she was increasingly seen at exclusive events, private gatherings, and high-profile social venues across multiple countries. Supporters would argue that networking is a normal part of the entertainment and business worlds. Critics, however, point to Marcus's influence and wonder how much of a role those connections played in opening new opportunities. His career was built around bringing people together, creating introductions, and maintaining relationships with influential figures across London, Toronto, Los Angeles, and beyond. As Meghan became more visible within those circles, questions naturally followed. Some people see the progression as the result of ambition, talent, and strong networking. Others view it as evidence of the power of elite connections. Either way, the timeline continues to attract attention. A successful television actress becomes a familiar face within exclusive social circles, is introduced to Prince Harry, and eventually marries into one of the most famous families in the world. Many critics argue that this was not simply a matter of luck, but the result of careful networking and being connected to people who knew how influential circles operate. Whether that view is fair or not, one fact keeps drawing attention. Years after the royal wedding, and years after stepping back from royal duties, Marcus Anderson continues to appear in Meghan's orbit and in many public discussions about her closest friendships. His name has been linked to several major moments over the years, including the 2018 royal wedding, the 2019 New York baby shower, Paris Fashion Week in October 2025, and the Disneyland trip in June 2025. Because of his long history with Meghan, some media reports and commentators have described him as one of the most important people in her personal circle.
Got this direct message from Meghan Markle.
A private message, obviously.
Yeah. And it said, hey, I'm a big fan, and I'm, so excited you're following me. And this is
She said to you.
It was about 3 years ago. And, I replied, and we corresponded quite regularly on Twitter.
That description alone has sparked endless debate online. Sources close to the Sussexes have reportedly said that Marcus prefers to stay out of the spotlight. Supporters point to that as a simple explanation for why he keeps a lower public profile. Critics, however, have focused on details such as his absence from major media projects and the use of an emoji over his face in social media photos. Those moments have led some people to wonder why someone so frequently present remains relatively private. For many observers, that is where the speculation begins. If the friendship is entirely straightforward, they ask, why not be more open about it? Others counter that not everyone wants public attention, especially someone who has spent years working behind the scenes. The different interpretations have only kept the conversation alive and fueled continued interest in their relationship. Another frequently discussed moment comes from the Invictus Games in September 2017. Online commentators analysed photos showing Meghan, Harry, and Marcus together, with some claiming the images revealed awkward dynamics. Others dismissed those conclusions, arguing that people were reading far too much into a few frozen moments captured by cameras. As with many viral photos, viewers often see what they expect to see. Still, Marcus's role in Meghan and Harry's story remains difficult to ignore. He has been widely reported as the person who helped bring them together, and who remained connected to both during key stages of their relationship. Because of that history, his presence continues to attract attention whenever he appears in public alongside Meghan. Whether people view the friendship as completely ordinary or unusually influential, Marcus Anderson remains one of the most talked about figures connected to the Sussexes' journey. For critics of the Sussexes, that creates an interesting question. Prince Harry made major life changes after his relationship with Meghan, including highly publicised tensions with parts of the royal family. Because of that, some commentators wonder how he views the continued presence of longtime friends and advisors who were part of Meghan's life before they met. Those discussions have fueled endless debate, even though there is little public evidence about how Harry personally feels regarding those relationships. To understand why Marcus Anderson attracts so much attention, many observers point to what Soho House represented. It was not just a collection of stylish venues or exclusive parties. It was a place where influential people from entertainment, business, media, and fashion regularly crossed paths. The value was often found in the connections, introductions, and opportunities that could emerge from those circles. Over the years, Meghan became associated with several well-known figures, including fashion designer Misha Nonno, stylist Jessica Mulroney, and tennis star Serena Williams. Some commentators also point to the broader Soho House network, which included prominent business leaders and investors. Supporters argue that building relationships like these is a normal part of professional and social life. Critics, however, see them as evidence of how powerful networking can be in shaping someone's trajectory. That is why Marcus remains such a central figure in discussions about Meghan's rise. His reputation was built on connecting people and maintaining relationships across multiple industries. To many observers, the most significant thing he offered was access to influential social circles and introductions that might not have happened otherwise. Whether viewed as friendship, mentorship, or professional networking, his role continues to draw attention. The photos that resurfaced in late 2025 added another layer to that conversation. Years after the royal wedding, and years after stepping back from royal duties, Marcus was still appearing in connection with Meghan at public events and private gatherings. For some people, that simply reflects a long-lasting friendship. For others, it reinforces the idea that he remains one of the most important figures in her personal network. This is where opinions sharply divide. Critics argue that Meghan's journey from actress to global public figure was shaped heavily by strategic relationships and influential connections. Supporters counter that ambition, talent, and determination played the biggest roles. Regardless of which view people hold, Marcus Anderson remains a recurring name throughout many chapters of her story. One final detail that often gets mentioned is Nick Jones, the founder of Soho House. Jones attended Harry and Meghan's wedding, yet he has rarely spoken publicly about Meghan's years within Soho House circles. That silence has fueled curiosity among some observers, while others see it as nothing more than respect for privacy. Either way, the connections surrounding Soho House continue to generate discussion and keep interest in the story alive. Nick Jones has rarely spoken publicly about what took place behind the scenes during Meghan's years within Soho House circles. Because of that, his silence has become a topic of discussion in its own right. Some commentators believe he possesses unique insight into the relationships, events, and social connections that developed within those exclusive spaces, while others argue that maintaining privacy is simply part of the Soho House culture. As the founder of a brand built on discretion, Jones has long emphasized privacy and trust. Supporters would say that protecting members' confidentiality is exactly what clients expect from an organization like Soho House. Critics, however, view the lack of public commentary as one more reason speculation continues to surround the people connected to those networks. When people examine Meghan's rise, they often focus on the dramatic progression of her public life. She went from a successful television actress to someone moving within highly influential social circles. From there came her relationship with Prince Harry, entry into the global spotlight, and eventually a new life outside the formal structure of the royal family. Throughout many stages of that journey, Marcus Anderson remained a familiar and recurring presence. That ongoing connection is what keeps attracting attention. Over the years, Marcus has appeared at major events, celebrations, fashion gatherings, and social occasions linked to Meghan. For some observers, that consistency points to a deep and enduring friendship. Others see it as evidence of the significant role he may have played in helping her navigate elite circles and build valuable connections. The bigger debate centers on how much of Meghan's success came from opportunity, networking, personal ambition, and timing. Supporters emphasize her talent, work ethic, and determination. Critics place greater emphasis on the influence of powerful social networks. The truth is often interpreted differently depending on who is telling the story. What continues to fuel discussion are the photographs and public appearances that document the friendship over time. Whether at high-profile events or more personal gatherings, the images show a connection that has lasted for many years. To supporters, they reflect loyalty and a long-standing friendship. To critics, they raise questions about influence, access, and the role certain relationships played in shaping Meghan's path to worldwide fame. So what exactly did Marcus Anderson bring to the table? Many observers point to his connections, influence, and access to influential social and professional circles. Through networks associated with Soho House and beyond, Meghan became linked to people such as Misha Nono, Jessica Mulroney, Serena Williams, and other prominent figures. Supporters see this as an example of successful networking, while critics argue that those relationships played a major role in expanding her profile and opportunities. That debate naturally leads to another question often raised by commentators. What made this friendship so enduring and valuable? Professional relationships and personal friendships frequently benefit both sides in different ways, and many people believe the connection between Meghan and Marcus was built on mutual trust, shared interests, and long-term loyalty. Whatever the explanation, the friendship has clearly lasted far longer than many expected. Even today, Marcus continues to appear in discussions surrounding Meghan's social circle. His name regularly surfaces whenever old photos reappear or new public appearances spark attention online. Because he has remained a consistent figure throughout different chapters of her life, some people view him as one of the most influential behind-the-scenes figures connected to her journey. That ongoing presence has fueled countless theories about loyalty, priorities, and the role networking played in Meghan's rise to international fame. Critics argue that influential connections helped create opportunities that accelerated her path. Supporters counter that opportunities alone do not guarantee success, and that personal talent, determination, and timing were equally important factors. The reason the photos continue generating attention years later is simple. They provide a visible record of a friendship that has endured through major life changes, public scrutiny, and global headlines. Whether people interpret that as evidence of influence, loyalty, or something else entirely depends on their perspective. One question, however, keeps resurfacing. Why does Marcus Anderson remain such a visible presence in Meghan's life years after reportedly helping introduce her to Prince Harry? He is not publicly known as her employee, manager, or business partner. Yet he has appeared at major events, social gatherings, and other moments that continue to attract public interest. That ongoing connection remains one of the most discussed aspects of their long-running friendship. Always present, always visible. That is the detail many commentators keep returning to when discussing Meghan Markle and Marcus Anderson. Over the years, he has remained a familiar figure in her social circle, despite major changes in her life, from her acting career to royal life and beyond. Because of that consistency, people continue to debate just how important the friendship has been and why it has lasted for so long. Some observers argue that Marcus occupies a unique place in Meghan's story because he was present during key periods of her life. He was connected to the Toronto years, the Soho House network, and the social circles that became part of the public conversation after Meghan's relationship with Prince Harry drew worldwide attention. That long history naturally makes him a subject of ongoing curiosity and speculation. The reason these photos keep resurfacing is simple. The friendship has remained visible for more than a decade. Whenever new images appear, whether from public events, private gatherings, or social media posts, people begin asking the same questions again. Supporters see the relationship as proof of loyalty and a lasting friendship. Critics view it as evidence that Marcus played a larger role in Meghan's rise than has been publicly acknowledged. Questions about hand-holding photos, appearances at family-related events, and other widely discussed moments have fueled countless online debates. Some people believe those moments are being overanalyzed, while others see them as details worth examining. The differing interpretations are exactly why the story continues to attract attention years later. Nick Jones, Marcus Anderson, and Meghan Markle have never publicly provided detailed explanations for many of the theories circulating online. As a result, much of the discussion remains driven by public speculation rather than confirmed facts. That lack of clear answers has only encouraged more interest from both supporters and critics alike. What cannot be denied is the timeline itself. Photos and public appearances show that Marcus has been a consistent presence across multiple chapters of Meghan's life, from the mid-2010s through the 2020s. Whether people view that as a close friendship, a valuable professional connection, or something else entirely depends on their perspective. Either way, the relationship remains one of the most talked about and closely watched connections in Meghan's wider social circle. And the truth about what happened behind the scenes during those Soho House years may be something the public never fully knows. Nick Jones has remained largely silent, and that silence continues to fuel curiosity among people who follow Meghan's story. Supporters see it as respect for privacy, while critics believe there are still unanswered questions surrounding the relationships, connections, and opportunities that helped shape her path into the global spotlight. What is certain is that the photos remain part of the public record. They continue to resurface, Marcus Anderson continues to be a topic of discussion, and the debate surrounding his role in Meghan's life shows no signs of fading anytime soon. Whether people see a loyal friendship, a powerful professional connection, or something in between, the questions continue to generate attention. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future deep dives. And if you know someone who would find this story interesting, share this video with them as well.